So you're planning a trip to Portugal? That's awesome. You're thinking about the sun, the food, the amazing cities, and we're here to help you get prepared. This is your smart traveler's guide to staying safe so you can just focus on having an incredible time. Let's dive right in.
Now, all the great info we're covering today comes from a project called EmergencyReady.eu. What they do is pretty brilliant. They gather all the critical, country-specific safety info that travelers need before something goes wrong. Think of it as your safety cheat sheet for exploring Europe with total peace of mind. We've broken this down into 4 simple parts. First, we'll cover the absolute must-have emergency contacts. Then we'll get into staying aware, from natural risks to common scams. After that, we'll talk driving rules. And we'll wrap it all up by building the perfect smart traveler's kit.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about the absolute essentials. These are the numbers and apps you're going to want to save in your phone before you even get on the plane.
Okay, if you remember only one number, make it this one: 112. That's the single emergency number for the entire European Union. It's totally free to call from any phone, and it connects you to everything: police, fire, medical services, you name it. If you're in any doubt at all, 112 is always the right call.
So 112 is for the big stuff. But what if it's not a full-blown emergency? Well, Portugal has some other fantastic numbers. SNS24 gets you medical advice from a nurse. Super helpful. The CIAV number is a 24/7 poison control hotline. And Civil Protection is your go-to for info during major events like wildfires or big storms. Seriously, do yourself a huge favor and download these 2 free apps before you go. The My 112 Portugal app is a game changer. When you call for help through it, it automatically sends your exact GPS coordinates to the emergency services. And the Prosive app gives you a live map of official warnings and incidents, which is absolutely invaluable, especially in the summer.
Okay, so you know who to call. Now let's talk about what to watch out for. Just being aware of your environment is key, whether that means understanding natural risks or spotting a potential scam in a crowded square. If you're near the coast, keep an eye out for these blue and white tsunami evacuation signs. They're designed to point you uphill to safety. In the summer, from June to September, definitely pay attention to official SMS alerts about wildfires. And here's a really clever bit of city planning. In Lisbon and Porto, the underground metro stations actually double as public shelters during severe storms.
In the cities, you just got to be savvy about a few common tricks. The famous trams in Lisbon, especially numbers 28 and 15, are hot spots for pickpockets, so keep your valuables secure. Near big monuments, you might see people asking you to sign a fake petition. The best move is to just smile, say no, and keep walking. Always try to use ATMs inside a bank, and with tuk-tuks or taxis, either agree on a price first or just use a ride-sharing app.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about driving. If you're thinking about renting a car to explore all that beautiful countryside, you need a heads up, because some of the rules might be a little different from what you're used to.
Okay, pay really close attention to this one. Portugal is super strict about drinking and driving. For most drivers, the limit is 0.05%. But, and this is a big but, if you're a new driver or a professional, that limit drops way down to just 0.02%. Honestly, the penalties are stiff, so the only truly safe advice is just don't drink at all if you're going to be driving.
Here are a few other quick rules to keep in mind. Speed limits are pretty standard: 50 in town, 90 on rural roads, and 120 on the highway. Your car has to have a reflective vest and a warning triangle in it, so check for that. A lot of the highway tolls are electronic only, so ask your rental company about getting a transponder. And here's the one that surprises everyone. Dash cams are totally illegal. You can't have them or use them because of strict privacy laws.
Okay, final section. Let's pull this all together. This is your action plan, the stuff to pack, and the things to know before you even leave the house.
So, your prep checklist is pretty simple but really important. Have copies of your ID and insurance, both on your phone and on paper. A waterproof power bank is a lifesaver, especially with those storms we talked about. An N95 mask is super light to pack, but could be essential if there's wildfire smoke. And of course, download your maps for offline use, carry a little bit of cash, and do not forget the high SPF sunscreen. The sun there is no joke.
You don't have to be fluent, but in an emergency, knowing just a few key phrases can make a world of difference. We've got them right here with a simple pronunciation guide. I would absolutely take a screenshot of this slide right now. It's one of those things you hope you never need, but you'll be so glad you have it if you do.
And that's really what this is all about, right? This kind of preparation. It isn't about expecting the worst to happen.
It's about giving yourself the tools and the knowledge so you can just relax, feel confident, and soak up every amazing moment of your trip.
At the end of the day, a prepared traveler is a confident traveler. When you have the right tools and you understand the local picture, you're not just ready for anything, you're ready for an absolutely unforgettable adventure. Thanks so much for watching.